camper van. What is up, you guys? My name is Aubrey, this is my channel, and as you can see, we have purchased a Ford Transit van. Over the last few weeks, I have been talking a lot about a secret project that I have been working on, and that is what this is. I am partnering with the company Outdoorsy, who is a peer-to-peer RV sharing website similar to Turo, but for specifically RVs. And I am going to be documenting the build of turning this typical Ford passenger transit van into a full-fledged camper van that we will then rent out on Outdoorsy. Now, the purpose of this project is to show that, one, you can create a camper van on a budget, and two, to show that anybody can combine their passions with business and turn those two things into a viable and profitable side hustle. And that is exactly what we will be doing with this camper van and with Outdoorsy. So what we're going to do is, over the next few months, we are going to document this entire series. You can see behind me HP, my boyfriend, who will be helping us throughout this entire build. And over the next few months, we will show that anybody can build a camper van, even if they don't have an expert background in woodworking, mechanics, or electrical engineering. We will also be showing that you can turn this camper van into a real legitimate side business. So I'm super excited to take you guys over the next few months as we build out this van, as we turn this van into a business, and as I go over the numbers with you guys. So in today's video, what we will be doing is I will be taking you guys through the van. I'll be doing an introduction of exactly what this van is, what it has. I'll be giving you guys a brief overview of what the plans are over the next few months, and I will also be going over the numbers of how much we spent on this van to begin with and what the budget of this project is. So let's get started. So right here we have our 2015 Ford Transit camper van. HP can tell you a little bit more about what is in this van and why we chose this specific van.
So this is the 2015 Ford Transit van. This is the T350. This is not a cargo van. This is actually one used for pedestrian use, which is why it has windows on the side and actual seats built out. Now this is a LWB, which is the long wheelbase, and a HR, which is the high roof version of this vehicle. This is not the extended, but this is going to have plenty of room for exactly what we need to do in this vehicle. Really excited for this one because this is one of the ones that we had a close eye on.
So then you walk around the van, you can see it has a high roof, it has the glass windows. Overall, the van is in pretty good shape, I would say. Fairly low miles. It has less than 20,000 miles, and it's a 2015. So for us, budget was a big thing, which we will be going over here shortly. The other reason why we chose this van specifically is because you can stand up all the way and you can touch the top. We were really wanting to find a van that had a high roof because we didn't want to have to worry about ducking down anytime you were actually walking in the van itself. And so whenever we looked for a van, we wanted to find a cargo specific van, but ultimately that didn't end up happening because we couldn't simply find it. So we found these ones with this interior instead. But it serves the purpose well because it has the high roof, you can stand up all the way on the inside, and it just works out really, really well. Okay, so we purchased this van on July 21st. So the end of July is whenever we purchased it. We actually ended up buying it in Oklahoma City. So as you guys know, I'm located in Dallas. So we drove about 3 hours north to Oklahoma City in order to pick up this van. And whenever we were looking for a van, there was a number of things that we wanted to have meet the criteria that we were looking for. Number one is we wanted it to be a Ford. This is because HP has experience working on Fords. He's worked on them his entire life, and he knows the Ford brand extremely well. So whenever it came to the make of the van, I was fine with it being Ford because that's what he was comfortable with. The other thing that we looked for is either a recent year, like a 2018 or a 2020, or a lower model vehicle. And the thought process with that was that we knew that a camper van that we rent out on Outdoorsy would probably end up getting a lot of use, and that's a lot of mileage, and we didn't want to start out with a van that had, 100,000 miles to begin with. And because of that, we wanted to find something that had lower mileage. Whenever we found this van in Oklahoma City, it's a 2015 and it has just about 20,000 miles on it. So it was a little bit older than what we were wanting, but it had low miles, and so because of that, HP felt confident in this being a good choice for a van build. So before we go into the different financial aspects of this build and what the overall financial goal is from the van build, I want to go over some of the key things that we wanted to keep in mind when buying the van and when kind of pursuing this project. So one of the goals of this channel, and it's something that I've talked about over the last few weeks, is that I want to highlight that you can start a business doing almost anything, that you don't need to get SBA SBA funding. You don't need to have a large six-figure loan. You don't need to have this big grand business scheme in order to turn a passion or a hobby into a legitimate business. And that is ultimately the goal with this van build, is to show that anybody with any sort of background or experience level can do something like a van build and turn it into a legitimate business endeavor. And ultimately that's what I'm wanting to accomplish by showing you guys that me and HP, with our background and with our knowledge, which is not like a background in woodworking or a background in construction, we can build out a van on our own in our backyard, and we can turn that into a profitable side hustle. For us, going down the outdoorsy and the van build path, price point was something that was a huge factor, because the fact of the matter is this build has to be something that's accessible to most people. And whenever you look at van builds online, like on Pinterest or Instagram or even on Outdoorsy, so often you see these extremely extravagant van builds that are amazing to look at, but they're also incredibly expensive. In fact, for a standard van build that you would see on Pinterest or in a like van advertisement, those can oftentimes cost anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000. And the fact is, the vast majority of us do not have $80,000 to $100,000 to invest in something like a van build. So with this project, keeping the price point in mind, the goal is to complete the entire van build in under $35,000, and that includes the purchase of the van. And the reason why we chose the $35,000 price point is that most really good cars, and not like a basic car like a Toyota Yaris or a high-end car like a Lamborghini, but most kind of mid-tier luxury cars are around that $35,000 price point. And with that $35,000 price point, I want to show that you can build out a van and you can start a real business using that van for the same cost as a mid-tier SUV or car. So with that, let's go over some of the numbers of how much this van cost and how much we are going to be allocating to the actual build itself.
So we initially found this van, it was in Oklahoma City, and the nice part about this van, it had all the right options that we wanted, even a little more than what we were looking for, had great mileage, and beyond all, it had the best price in the area. And I'm not talking about in DFW, I mean like in a good tri-state area as well. So it was really important that we had to get this van. Now, the vehicle was listed for $24,999, and then my ultimate goal with getting this vehicle was trying to get out the door by $27,000. Now, that can be done with including interest and taxes as well, but we had to make sure that dealers, like most of them do, typically add on different add-ons like window tinting or door edge guards or hidden fees as well. So, ultimate goal, get out of the door by $27,000, and we did just that.
So overall, the breakdown of the cost of the van was $27,764.49. So of the $35,000 that we are setting aside for the entire van build, $27,764 of that is made up by just buying the van alone, which means that we have just under $7,000 total to go towards other things like the interior and building out the van itself. So of that, the purchase price of the vehicle was $25,391. The tax, title, and licensing of the vehicle totaled out to $2,373.49. And so the total cost of the vehicle ended up being $27,764. We ended up putting $5,000 as the down payment. The interest rate of the vehicle is 3.99%, and the term of the loan is 72 months, meaning that the monthly payment is about $356 per month. So you guys, that is the numbers of the project, and the ultimate goal of the project again is to highlight the fact that anybody can start a business with a relatively low upfront investment. In the case of this van build, it was initial investment of $5,000 for actually purchasing the van. Over the next few months, HP and I will be walking you guys through the process of how we are building this out. We will walk you guys through how we got this in our backyard. We will show you guys how we are gutting the interior, what our plans are for the interior going forward, and of course, how we are going to turn this into a legitimate business. So once it is time to list this on Outdoorsy, we will also be walking you guys through how much money the van makes, what the costs of maintaining the van are, and all those sorts of details as well. So you guys, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single van build video. We will be doing these videos every single Friday, so you can be sure to have an update then. So make sure to hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.